Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And I have a diamond in the rough for you guys to meet today. His name is Tyrese Wright. He is a defensive back out of Monmouth. Nice to have you on, sir.
Nice to be here, man.
Yeah, a lot of great things happening for Monmouth these past few seasons, dude. And of course, you being one of the prospects coming out of that institution, um, I'm interested to hear your story. So go ahead and start us out. Tell us where you're from, and we'll start walking through things.
No doubt. I'm from Bridgeport, Connecticut, born and raised here. You know, I've heard of Monmouth too, growing up. In high school, just seeing the different schools that people in Connecticut actually go to. I mean, because Connecticut is small, you see where everybody's from. So yeah, growing up in Bridgeport, it's always hard being recruited. So I worked hell off to really, put my head on a straight and narrow path just to make it to the next level. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, people up in Connecticut, though, sometimes you don't think too much about football. Let's just be real. Think a whole lot about basketball. Very, very,
Mm.
big there, of course. But of course, you being a football player there. So let's back up a bit, man. How long have you been playing the game of football?
I've been playing the game of football since fifth grade. I remember I started with the first sport I ever played was soccer. I was a little too physical. And so one of my mentors back then, recommended football, and I didn't know anything about it in fifth grade, but I was physical and I was fast. So I knew I could excel in this game. And, I just took it day by day. And ever since then, I fell in love with the game and I've been playing ever since.
So I guess you tackled some people playing soccer. Is that how that works?
Yeah. There's more of like pushing. Yeah, I guess you could say I tackled them though.
Well, hey, I mean, obviously, different kind of sport, little bit different skill set, but of course, you decided to go with football. Interestingly enough, you were a quarterback in high school. Again, going back to Bridgeport, talk about your time as a quarterback. I'm kind of interested about that.
Yeah, I got you, no doubt. So even before high school, I played quarterback a little bit. I dabbled in quarterback a little bit, but I didn't really like it in pee wee ball. But when I got to high school, my freshman year, I remember my coach, Coach Johnson, at my first high school. He actually put me there. He was like, "Okay, you're one of the best athletes we have on this team, so keep the ball in your hands at all times." So then I couldn't even throw the ball correctly. We ran a lot of option too. You know what I mean? So I was running the ball more, but to develop an arm and develop like better throwing mechanics as I got older. So my sophomore year, I really took off with that. Off season, I was working hard. So you know what I mean. Like I said before, like I pride myself in being versatile. So I always played both ways as well. So sometimes I would line up in the box or I would line up at high safety. Even my freshman year, it was just sorry. Sorry.
So Tyrese, you were talking about, again, being a quarterback, but also, kind of going both ways, playing safety as well, whether you were in the box and such. Again, wanted to highlight because you did play that position. You did have over 4,000 yards passing as a quarterback, which is interesting. But obviously, it was going to be defensive back somewhere, whether you're safety or whatever. So, um, was there a time where you kind of had to like really make that decision, hone in a little bit more so of you being a defensive player rather than an offensive player? Like, how did that switch or whatever? Like, when did that occur?
Okay, that was about my junior year. I remember specifically because my older cousin played football like before me, and he already knew the ropes, and he saw how athletic I was, and but he also saw that I probably wasn't going to be a college quarterback. You know what I mean? Because of the physicality on defense and different things like that. He was like, "Oh, you're going to play defensive back. Told me straight up, start training for this." And I remember at the time I didn't even want to train for. I was like, "No, I could play quarterback. I could play quarterback," but it wasn't that because then recruiters started coming in and asking me, how do you feel about playing defense? And then they came in with the offers, and all the offers came when I went to camps. I played both ways as well, and then the offers started coming in at defensive back, and that's when I realized around my junior year, okay, This is definitely for me.
Yeah, maybe a little different story we would have for you if you would have been a quarterback. Not saying you couldn't have been. It's just you might
Yeah.
not have been a quarterback at the D1 level. Maybe D2, D3, or something somewhere along those lines. But obviously, more people were interested in you as a defensive back moving forward. Again, ended up at Monmouth, of course, but could have gone somewhere else. Depending
Hmm.
upon the situation. How was that recruiting? Like, did you have any other possible destinations coming out of high school, or was it always going to be Monmouth?
Monmouth was actually one of the schools that offered me. I got offered that Sacred Heart. That's at home, you know what I mean? And I always loved that campus. It's a beautiful campus, you know what I mean? And the coaches were always real. Same coach recruited me throughout my high school career. So that was definitely up there. I had Stony Brook as well. And at the time, that was when Stony Brook was in the CAA and Monmouth wasn't. So that was also another where I was really looking at for a competition level, you know what I mean? And Central Connecticut as well. So I basically had everything that was kind of around where I'm from, basically. And then Monmouth was just very intriguing to me because it wasn't in Connecticut. So that was very like that's where I really wanted to really go, just to explore my options and build my network outside of Connecticut.
I mean, a little different. Obviously, not in Connecticut, but in Jersey. So,
Hmm.
and not so bad of an institution, dude. I mean, let's be real. I mean, uh, Monmouth has really been getting better and better and better each and every year. I mean, very interesting situation, but we'll get to talking about that here soon. Obviously, Monmouth, they were the school who wanted you, who offered you. So let's hype them up a little bit for people who don't know Monmouth. Why is that school so special for you?
I mean, first off, the location, you know, it's right on the beach. They have a slogan there. It's called "We Win Where You Vacation," and it's really true. It's a nice area, period. You know, going you drive a mile down the road, you're at the beach. You know what I mean? And it's just beautiful. Campus is beautiful itself. The facilities are great, and they just got a new AD as well. So she's making a lot of changes as well, adding different things to the stadium. They just got new turf. You know, they really care about what goes in, so when you come out, you know what I'm saying, it's just a good network to build with them, you know. It's just everything about that school was pretty great. You know, besides it's just other than that, it's just kind of it's a smaller community as well. So you also feel at home, you don't feel left out of different things, and they also make sure there's different ways where they make sure your grades are up to par. Whether you know they make sure you're going to class, you're struggling, they make sure you get the help. You know, you honestly fail, it's honestly on you. They honestly do a great job at that.
Cool. Well, obviously, again, they gave you you know, they gave you the offer. You were able to go out there, play on defense, and really, you guys did. You have done well for yourself, although things have been interesting these past couple of seasons. Go ahead and talk about y'all's offense or y'all's defense, and really kind of where you fit in. So, talk through that a bit.
Okay, so my freshman year, we were pretty good. We played in the Big South my first years actually. My freshman and my sophomore year, we were in the Big South, and a little bit of in my junior year as well. We were in the Big South, and we were excelling. We were doing very well, and we were under our DC coach Bo. And you know, when we switched to CAA, I feel like that was when we realized, okay, this is a big jump. And I feel like after that, those few years, we did have a rough patch in 2022. That's probably our worst year. In 2023, we made some improvements, but I still feel like we weren't where we really needed to be. But we did make improvements. That's really like the strong suit of that. But yeah, my freshman year, we won the Big South conference, and then we also won it in 2021 as well, or 2020 actually. 2020 during that COVID season, we won that again. Came back in 2021 and lost it to Kennesaw State in the last game, and then we jumped up to CAA in 2022, and then from there, pretty much that's where we're at right now, and they're still building right now as well. You know, even with me being gone and some of the other guys who played on that defensive side of the ball being gone, and we're in my grade. You know, they're still building, and they just hired our old running backs coach as the new DC, and he's a amazing coach. He's like extremely smart, and our defensive back coach that we had in 2022, 23 is also smart. So them coming together is going to be very good for that defense.
Yeah, really interesting situation there. You had talked about obviously, I know it sounds funny and people in the Big South might get a little, I don't know, their feelings hurt or whatever, but you said you moved up. So you moved up in competition. Let's be real, dude. CAA has a lot of great competition, really from top to bottom. And so you move up in 2022 and you guys saw that competition. I mean, it's a rough, hard nosed competition. Really, some of the most competitive teams in all of really college football. People don't realize that even at the FCS level, you get a lot of great talent. So even with the final you know win loss record that you guys did have, it's still tough. So just
Yep.
want to kind of throw that out there for people. Um, so again, you being a safety, again, playing both ways and back in the day, um, who were you a big fan of growing up, man? Were you a fan of like a quarterback, or were you a fan of a defensive back at that time, or what was your situation growing up as a kid?
Yeah, I got you. I was definitely a big Cam Newton fan. Everything I did in high school and quarterback, was molded off of him because he was more of the same style quarterback that I was. A dual threat quarterback, he can throw the ball, but he can also hurt you with his legs. You know what I mean? So pretty much that's where I definitely molded my game off of. And then defensive backs as I got older that I started watching was more Jamal Adams, just the guys who remind me of myself, more box type guys. You know what I mean? Guys who can play in the post, but they thrive off of playing in the box and coming down and making tackles, setting the edge, different things like that.
Neat. So some QB power, I guess. Obviously, you get a bunch from Newton, of course.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of want to dive into that just slightly a little bit more because obviously being a quarterback does give you a different sense of perspective. So, how do you feel that has helped you as a defensive player?
I feel like knowing timing and different things and how to mess up timing for quarterbacks help me because understanding where a receiver has to be in a certain amount of time matters. So me realizing that as a quarterback, okay, I need my receiver there in this time because the throw will be open if you throw it at a certain time. Coming to defense, I'm like, okay, if I mess up their timing, either getting hands on or staying patient, staying square, keeping my leverage, they have to react off of me. That's what really helped me transition. And I feel like that's why I excelled and I was able to really read these offenses and read a quarterback and bait a quarterback into making that throw so I can go make a play on the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's a part of me that feels like that is one of the good things about you as a prospect. I mean, again, understanding the game from every perspective, also being like a well-seasoned player there for Monmouth, a team leader. Is there anything else about you that you want to highlight as a prospect, as a guy who's obviously trying to get to the next level? What do you think are your best traits?
Some of my best traits, is basically just fighting through adversity. It doesn't matter what it is, outside, inside of football. I've battled through a few injuries, but nothing season ending, just no more than nagging like rolled ankles and different things like that. I'm always willing to put my body on the line to go out there for the team, and it doesn't matter in what aspect. It's special teams, defense, it's, anything to help the team. And I feel like I bring a different energy to the game. You know what I mean? It's just when I'm out there, you can really see. I feel like when you look at people on the field, you can really see those people who really have that excitement and that joy and how natural it is compared to somebody who's kind of like, you know, either not, I wouldn't say faking because nobody out there is, faking because they're on the field, they're playing. But and where somebody with that raw passion, that's what I feel like I really stand out in. And people are really gonna notice that come pro day or come, if I go to a camp and different things like that, people are really going to notice that and see that energy how raw and how real that passion is. So I feel like I'm just a pretty passionate player, and anybody who played with me, you can ask them, and they'll say the same exact thing.
I mean, definitely nice to have a guy who is passionate and who really does love the game. So, um, what is it that you love the most about the game of football?
I feel like just being out there, it's there's nothing like putting on a pair of shoulder pads and a helmet and going out there and just playing with your brothers. You know what I mean? It's just I always made the joke, and whenever we practice and people were complaining like, "Oh, we're tired with this," I'm like, "We have the easiest job in America right now." You know what I mean? We're outside playing football. You know what I mean? It's just like that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's a great sport where you can go out, hit some people, throw the
Yeah,
ball around. I mean, it's fun. Let's be real. Obviously, one of the best sports in the world. So we all love it. Obviously, Tyrese been a part of the Big South, been a part
yeah.
of the CAA, had a lot of great games. So give me a couple of your best highlights, man. What are some of the memories that you'll have for years to come? Give me a couple good ones.
Yeah, without a doubt. I feel like first highlight was my first start in college period. 2019 Presbyterian. I still remember it to this day. That was the first game I actually started in and played safety. First game I showed up in was when I made my first tackle on Lafayette on kickoff, and it's like that really brings it out of me, like the passion. Fought and it was like, okay, like this kid, and I got my start 2 weeks after that. And another play, they won Gardner Webb at home, homecoming, in front of a sold out crowd. I come down, make a big hit. Next drive, come down, catch an interception. You know what I mean? I had about 8 tackles that game. It's games like that you really remember. And most recent, 2022 beating Villanova. They were ranked number 9, I believe. They're ranked pretty high. I'm not gonna lie. And we came into their field and beat them. And that was our first year in the CAA. So that was a really good feeling. I had 9 tackles that game. You know what I mean? In the pass record, I believe. And then later on in this last season, I could say Lafayette again. Not Lafayette, Lehigh, the Lehigh game. Um, I made a few big plays that game, made laid a few big hits. I had one forced fumble where I chased the running back down, ripped it from behind. It's plays like that really show the hustle and the want to make a play and be out there. You know,
Yeah, a lot of great stuff there, dude. Obviously, talking about your first, also talking through things like special teams and making plays out there. That's probably going to be where you're going to cut your teeth in the pros. Let's be
mm-hmm.
real. So, I want to get your feeling about special teams. What's your attitude and approach to being out there on the field?
Special teams wins and loses games, and you can see it even in the pros right now. Just this past few games, this playoff run and the Super Bowl, teams win games, and I feel like if you bring that energy and you really go out there and show how much that means to you, not just because of you, but it helps the whole team. It adds a different aspect to the game because, like I said earlier, games are won and lost on special teams. It's literally a game of inches. You can win that. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely special teams very important. Um, Tyrese, you do offer that, of course. Also, some interesting size to work with. Let's be real. We have a guy who's about 6 foot, 215 pounds, which that could be used all over. Whether you're a safety, nickel linebacker, working in the slot, working as a corner, a lot of different uses of you as a player. So definitely like that about you as well. So uh, obviously, Tyrese, we are, I guess, moving forward towards a pro day here soon. So how are things coming along on that front? What are you doing? Where are you training and all that?
I'm training here in Connecticut. I'm training at Overdrive Elite and KMK Training. Overdrive Elite is more speed, linear focus, starts 40, different things like change of direction as well, 5, 10, 5, L drill. and at KMK is more strength, so that's where I'm building all the strength production that I need to really, get out and move fast on my pro day. And I leaned up a lot because during the season I was about 218, 219 playing slot corner, playing nickelback. You know what I mean? So now I leaned up and I'm back to 215, solid weight. And yeah, I've been just hitting it hard and really on recovery as well. That definitely matters. I mean, but I'm getting more explosive faster than I was during the season.
Cool. Well, I do want to take a moment to see if there's anything else about you that you want to share with people, man. Whether it be your hobbies, your interests, if you have any special talents, anything else that you want to share about yourself that you think others might find interesting. So, uh, give us something.
I would say it's completely like off topic, yeah. But I mean, I guess I'm into fashion a little more. I feel like a lot of NFL guys, professionals are very into fashion as well, or they have stylists or different things like that. I would say that's more so something that I'm into that's not, football related, that's outside. You know what I mean? And another thing is actually, you know, yeah, nah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So would you say you're one of the most stylish guys there from Monmouth? Would that be an accurate statement?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. I don't know if anybody, I mean, there's definitely people who would agree, but other people have their own sense, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's something I'm definitely into.
Okay. Uh, want to talk a little bit more about your teammates there, so or some of the teammates that you have had. Um, so, who would you say are the one guys you would love to have in your corner? Like, if it was the zombie apocalypse, I want you to pick
Mhm.
three dudes from Monmouth that you really want on your side. So go for
Are you talking this past season or just three dudes in
it. Just
general? Come
just
on,
through
man.
the years, dude. Just roll with it.
Years. I got you. Eddie Morales, for sure. If you know who Eddie Morales is, he wore number one for us
Right.
last year. He's a great guy. I got him at number one. Uh, Jair Thomas, he played safety for us for a few years, a good friend of mine. Got him at number two. And last one, I would probably say Jake Brown. He's a linebacker for us. He played linebacker last year, Harvard grad, really good guy.
Awesome. Getting a lot of great talent there. Going to try and think of something else to ask you though, just for fun. So again,
Yeah.
out of Connecticut area, a little different, obviously from the Jersey scene, but let's take you back home, man. What do you miss so much? What do you miss the most about home?
I would say the pizza. If you want me to be real, right now I'm not really eating pizza because strict diet with leading up and pro day and such. But I feel like Connecticut pizza is second to none. We have the top pizza in the United States. Period. You know what I'm saying? So like
So where would
that's me.
I have to go? Give us a pizza joint, dude.
Oh well, in Bridgeport we have one called Crossroads Pizza. That's amazing. It's like pan pizza. It's like the fluffier pizza, and then you got I believe it's called Frank Pepe's in New Haven, which is like ranked like out of the United States. It's actually ranked one of the top in the U.S. So yeah, I pretty much Connecticut pizza. You can even look it up. It's ranked over New York pizza, it's over Jersey pizza.
Certainly don't want to tempt you right now too much because obviously you're training. You need to obviously not binge on those sorts of things.
Yeah,
But nice to be able to share a little bit about your hometown and what you miss there, of course. Um, Obviously, Tyrese, we are talking under the format of you trying to get to the league, trying to get noticed, trying to get an opportunity to play for an NFL team. Of course, would be a very interesting addition. But I want to hear your pitch, man. Talk to all these scouts. Tell them what they would be missing if they didn't take a chance on you and what you would be if they did. So, go ahead and close us with your thoughts.
no doubt. So I mean, if they didn't take a chance, they'll be missing out on a kid always going to bring the energy no matter what. You know what I mean? I'm first guy there, last guy leaving. I I know that sounds cliche, but I really live by that. And I don't just live by that on the football field. I live by that in a business outside of football, just everything. You always have to be early. If you're early, you're on time. You know what I mean? It's different things. You always have to be the last one to leave. You're always working hard. You're always putting in that extra work. And, somebody who's really going to pride in every aspect of the game. It doesn't matter, like I said earlier, it doesn't matter if it's special teams. It doesn't matter if I'm just running down on kickoff. It doesn't matter if I'm running down on punt. I'm going to give 110% every single time. Not 100%, 110% every single time, like it's my last snap, because honestly, you really don't know the game. Very physical game we play. It could be your last snap. So I kind of live that day by day. I take that aspect of football and bring it to my everyday life. It just boosts it even more when I'm playing football. I'm bring that passion, bring that energy in every aspect. So if they took the chance on me, and I'll be 100% grateful. And like I said, I'll bring that energy every day, and they're gonna know how much I love this game, regardless. You know what I mean? They're gonna know how hard I worked, how much I put into this game, how much time I put in studying, how much time I put in just working out, just getting faster, just building, you know, strength. You know what I mean? Moving, being able to move at the size I am. Because 215 isn't light, but crazy heavy, but it also isn't light. You know what I mean? It's harder to move. They're at that weight. So, I feel like team took a chance on me. They wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great versatility, some good overall experience. Again, also team leader. A lot of people have looked up to you over the years as really one of the fixtures there on that defense for several seasons. So, Tyrese, I know you got a lot going on. You're training. Got to
Yeah.
stay disciplined, obviously, with that. You know, I guess nutrition plan and those sorts of things. But want to wish you all the best with what you have going on. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Once again, we got with us Tyrese Wright. He's a defensive back out of Monmouth. Check this guy out.